welcome. Thank you for being here on this beautiful morning. My name is Mayan Earthheart. I will be the service leader today. Thank you, Phyllis, for welcoming us with such delightful music. So, it is February, and our spiritual theme for this month is spiritual living, a bold and intentional way of being. I'd like us all to join together in speaking our affirmation. I boldly embrace spiritual being as a way of being, aligning my thoughts, actions, and heart with divine wisdom. Through gratitude, affirmation, meditation, and self-care, I cultivate balance, joy, and purpose, embodying the sacred in every moment of my life. Thank you. And now I invite you all to stand and sing along, if comfortable, as we sing our first song.
In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. This is how I start my day, knowing good is on the way. I am claiming perfect health, love and laughter, friends and wealth. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. With conviction undeterred, power of the spoken word. Take my life and redefine. Break the shackles of my mind. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I lift my head to higher ground, knowing the bills are all around. Each day unfolds just as it should. When I'm focusing on my good, life is filled with opportunity. I wonder what good will happen for me. Ooh, I claim a blessing. 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 Phyllis, I cannot even put into words how good it felt to hear Motown this morning in the house. Thank you so very much for helping us sister out, okay? I appreciate that. So this is our Namaste moment, so we got to get this a little bit better organized. So Makai and Auden, please go to the back of the chapel. Parents, please take your youngins to meet Makai and Auden, because I unloosed you all at the beginning, and then kids were like, where are we going? So take your kids back to Auden and Makai as they get ready to go to class. So that way it's not like mass hysteria. Just saying, adults and kids moving around is a mighty combo, so very good. And then on this moment, I never say namaste to the people who are watching either online right now or who watch afterwards. So let's all put our hands together and hold energy for those who live too far away, didn't feel like coming in, weren't able to come in. We
honor, acknowledge, and see the God within you. And we send you, everybody online, our Namaste greeting today. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you to the tech team. All right, and so, again, to everyone in the chapel, you're free to move about the cabin. Namaste and namaste. We usually don't have music during Namaste moment, but I did ask Phyllis. I'm like, well, you want to play more of that Motown? I am good with that. I totally forgot about We Are the World as Motown. But Quincy Jones, the late, great Quincy Jones was there. Let's take a moment, take a breath in and out. As we come to this time of prayer, I'm going to ask you to put me and Gail on your list. We are meeting with our loan officer on Thursday. First time round, didn't quite go as well, but we got a list of stuff to do. We have done those things. And so hold space for us on Thursday. I think it's at 4 p.m. that, boom, it all works out. It's all working out for our highest good. And so there may be other people that need prayers. You see, I've got the end of the cooties that was trying to get me. And so people aren't feeling well. People may be feeling sad. And so let's hold space for those people. Let's hold space for people in our congregation that aren't feeling well. And then let's hold space for this whole country. You know, I am my mother's daughter, and she is a forever optimist. That she sees something bad, she's going to see the good. So I am wanting to follow her example, and all the things that can make me feel nervous or angry or frustrated, I choose to see people who are standing up for what is right. I choose to see people choosing love. I choose to know that if George Washington and all those folks themselves have to come back and help us, you know, right, that energy. So let's choose love. Sometimes people are doing the best they can, and to you and I, it looks like a hot mess. But if they're doing the best they can, see that and then send them energy to be able to do better. People who are fearful and don't believe there's enough, so they want to take away from people. Let's send them the energy. There is more than enough. There is more than enough. Well, you know, people don't look like me. You know, those brown and black people, okay. Let's send to those people the energy of oneness. The energy of oneness. And if you've ever had some plantain or tacos, you might be happy for those brown and black people in this country, all right? But we can send a different energy. Say, I know that you're fearful based on some misinformation, but let me send you some love. Let me send you some clarity. Let's stand in wholeness, right? What do we say? Our race is human. In the end, white, black, purple, green, whatever, when you cut, the same type of blood's going to come out. When you cut, the same type of organs are in the inside. We are one. And so let's stand in that energy of one. Let's send wholeness right now to this whole country. We are one. Let that be our affirmation. We are one. Rooted in divine presence, in the divine presence that we are, we gather in the awareness of our creative power. We recognize that our thoughts and words shape our reality, and in the stillness, we access the infinite wisdom that is always present within us. We hold space for peace, clarity, and right action, knowing that as we elevate our consciousness, we uplift the world. May people of goodwill be inspired and motivated by right thought, right action, and a right way of being, expressing wisdom, love, and integrity in all that we do. We embrace this country in love. All 50 states. We embrace this country in light. We embrace this country in truth. We embrace this country in justice. We see beyond division. There is a wholeness that unites us. May our collective energy of this sacred space radiate healing, understanding, and transformation in here first and then outside. We affirm that we are the presence of divine light. And we are infusing this world with peace. There's an old gospel song saying, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. We're not gonna let this negativity and this fear turn us around. We are the light. We are the Christ. And we bring that to the world. With gratitude, we declare, we are one with divine wisdom. We are guided. We are light. We are love. And so it is.
And we're now going to internalize that by saying, I am. I am as God created me. You may remember it. We've sung this before. There are two parts to it. So this side's going to sing with the music team. And you're going to sing, I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. You just keep repeating that. Let's try that. 2, ready, and. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. One more time. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. Okay, while they're singing that, we're going to, hopefully I have my talkers over here because your mouths really need to move. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am. Keep it going. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love of the glory. In the light, in the love of the glory. I am. Excellent. Now let's see if you're multitaskers. We're going to start with this side, and they're going to sing through it once, and then we're going to add this to it. Okay, here we go. 2, ready, go. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. Here we go. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory. There's a light and the love and the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory. I am. Mean it. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am. 2 more times. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory.
again. Today's inspirational reading is from the writings of our very own Minnassa. Meditation is the tongue of the soul and the language of our spirit. The psalmist has sent the invitation, "Be still and know that I am God," Psalms 46 through 10. The invitation looks simple. The challenge is to be still. In this hustle and bustle world where type A personalities are rewarded, inaction and stillness are often viewed as lazy. The invitation, though, is the same. Be still and know. Knowing is more than having knowledge of. This word in its original language means to experience. The invitation is to be still, experience the love and presence of the divine. I encourage each of us to set aside 5 minutes a day to meditate. No, there is no special way to sit, things to say or do. It is simple. Find a quiet place, sit still, take a few deep breaths, and allow your mind to be quiet and your soul to connect to the love and presence of the God within. I can guarantee 5 minutes a day in the love and presence of God will transform your life. I'd now like to introduce Phyllis, Dan, and Ginger to sing a beautiful song.
I am
What a beautiful song. Thank you so much. That sounded amazing. Wonderful. Thank you, three. Appreciate that. When an airline pilot and a pastor arrive in heaven at the same time, St. Peter warmly thanks the pastor. He explains that he did a great service devoting his life to God and the church, and that due to his efforts, he was able to get many congregants to pray and to turn to God. As a result, his efforts have been rewarded. He will live in a luxuriously large house in heaven, complete with all the amenities he ever wanted on earth, but turned down for a life of faith. A swimming pool, a sprawling lawn, a beautiful garden, and even the sports car he always dreamed of. After St. Peter finishes explaining all this, he tells the pilot that he will also receive, but an even larger house, complete with 2 swimming pools, a hot tub, a garden maze, and a rare supercar. Confused, the pastor asked, "I don't understand. I am grateful for everything that I've received, and I'm very happy for this person to receive, but why does he get so much more?" St. Peter smiles, "Oh, that is simple. You were an excellent pastor, and you were able to get around 80% of your church's visitors to pray and turn to God. But he was a terrible pilot, and he was able to get 100% of his plane's passengers to pray and turn to God." Just saying, if you've ever been in turbulence, you will understand. So imagine waking up every morning to the sound of your own voice declaring, "Today is going to be a powerful day. I am in alignment with divine wisdom. Everything I need flows to me with ease." Now imagine the difference between starting your day with those words versus waking up and saying, "I'm exhausted and nothing ever goes right for me." Your words set the tone for your life. From the wisdom book of the Bible, the book of Proverbs reminds us that life and death are in the power of the tongue. That could also be translated, life and death are in the power of your language. Or life and death is in the power of your talking. That what comes out of our mouth is creating or not. I used to always say, people say, "You are what you eat." Say, "Well, let me eat, I don't know, like a thin supermodel," right? No, kidding. Let's say, "You are what you speak." We are what we speak. What comes out of our mouths is what we are creating. What we speak, we call forth. And what we meditate on, we become. This is the power of affirmation and meditation. And this is what we're going to focus on today. We're going to focus on the A and the M of the game plan, 2 spiritual tools that align us with divine mind and open the doors of possibility. So let's make sure we're all talking about the same thing. So what do I mean by affirmation? Because the dictionary definition of affirmation is to affirm something, or something was affirmed. So, are we all in agreement about this resolution, whatever? We say, "Aye," that's affirming. But affirm can also be emotional support or encouragement. And we've all done that type of affirmation. "I believe in you. You can do it. You deserve to be happy." All of those are outward-facing affirmations. I want to encourage us to make those inward-facing affirmations. Let's talk today about self-affirmation. I believe in myself. I can do it. I deserve to be happy. Those are the statements. Those are the affirmations that I'm inviting each one of us, including myself, to make a part of us creating life in our own house and in our community. So modern science confirms what spiritual folks have known for a long time, that our thoughts and our words shape our realities. So when I go and do one of my presentations, this is the stuff that I take with me. Science, neuroscience, neuroplasticity, so I can get past all those CEOs and who are like, she better not bring some woo-woo mess in here. Say, sure, I'm going to cover it in scientific words, but it's still woo-woo from back in the day. But right, so we can say neuroscience, and it shows that affirmations can rewire the brain, strengthening neural pathways and making positive thinking a habit rather than an exception. Now, what they don't know is if it because I think I'm going to think this, it does the rewiring of because I said it. But it still works. So let's look at some of the benefits of affirmations. Shifts mindset from lack to abundance. Reduces stress and increases resilience. So in the work that I do about corporate mindfulness, boom, you want to reduce the stress of your employees? You want to reduce your stress as a leader? I'm just saying, science. Science is saying I know what I'm talking about, right? It also helps to boost self-confidence and motivation. And then it strengthens the neural pathways for positive thinking. For a long time, people thought, well, however your brain is, once you're like 18, it's never going to change again. But we know that's not true. If you do something with your left hand, you put and you're right-handed, you put a neural pathway in your brain. So should you need to use your left hand in that way, you already have the pathway. The brain is an amazing instrument, and it's not disconnected from my spirituality, but it's a part of my spirituality. So the great news is, we know that folks been using affirmation before the science nerds started confirming everything. Our very own founder, Charles Fillmore, by constantly affirming health and strength and harmony, we gradually bring these conditions into manifestation. That is part of what we believe here at Unity. Affirmations are a part of our spiritual toolkit. Way before scientists started getting down with the program, Charles Fillmore was encouraging and empowering and reminding us constantly, affirming health, strength, and harmony will gradually bring those conditions into manifestation. And then if you don't know, Myrtle Fillmore, his wife and the co-founder, has an amazing story of healing. She had some kind of pulmonary disease that people didn't live long with. But she had this affirmation, I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness. And she lived to be, 80 or something? She bypassed the diagnosis because she created her own prognosis. I'm a child of God. I do not inherit sickness. And so their teachings remind us that affirmations are not just wishful thinking. Charles Fillmore said constantly, and she had to affirm that over and over again. That affirmations are a spiritual practice that aligns us. It is a way of training our brain and our subconscious mind. So Reverend Jack Roberts, in his book, The Science of Affirmations and Denials, again reminds us how this spiritual tool works. Affirmation works because the brain does not distinguish between a real experience and one that is vividly imagined. When we repeatedly affirm a belief, we train our subconscious mind to accept it as truth. Because many of us have subconscious mind tracks that are saying, you're not valuable, your family is this, you're only beautiful if you look like this, da 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 da. So we've got to replace those subconscious things with, as Jack said, when we repeatedly affirm a belief, we train our subconscious mind to accept it as truth. But I can do better than just quoting Jack. I'm ready, Seb.
Hi, my name is Reverend Jack Roberts, and I'm excited to be here with you today to talk about affirmations. And I am the author of the book, The Science of Affirmations and the Power of Denials. I put a QR code down at the bottom of the screen if you're interested in going to Amazon and getting a copy of the book for yourself, because I go into great detail about how you can use affirmations to transform your life in the book. But here, I've only got 5 minutes, so I'm going to give you a crash course on affirmations over the next 5 minutes. I want to start off by talking about what affirmations are and what they're not, because what they're not is something magical or mystical. Affirmations are not about God. They're not about the universe. They don't sprinkle pixie dust over your life. Affirmations are, however, a practical strategy that you can use to transform your life. So yes, they are a spiritual tool, and they are also a practical physical tool that you can use. So by way of example, you might have the affirmation, I am working on becoming debt-free. That is a practical strategy that you can start to use, and it's what I like to call instructions that you're giving to your subconscious mind. I am in the process of becoming debt-free. All right, point number 2 that I want to make is that affirmations should be action-oriented. So I gave you an example, the first one, I am in the process of becoming debt-free. There is action there. I am creating a strong, healthy body. How about this one? I am making myself attractive inside and out to welcome that special person. Each of these affirmations, as you can see, call for you to do something. So you're not just reciting an affirmation and then wishing and hoping that maybe something will happen. No. Again, it is a strategy for you to use to move yourself forward, to move your life in the direction that you want it to go. And here's the third key that I want to leave you with. You want to make sure that your affirmations are, or that your life is aligned with your affirmations. So what do I mean by that? When it comes to your affirmations, you want to make sure that whatever thoughts you have match your affirmations. You want to make sure whatever feelings you have about life or about yourself match your affirmations. So if you are working on becoming debt-free, but you have some strong aversion to saving money, you don't feel good about saving money or being on a budget, then your feelings are not in alignment with the affirmation. And you want to work on getting your feelings, your thoughts, your beliefs, your ideas, your actions. You want to work on getting all of those things in alignment with your affirmations. The more of your life that is lined up with your affirmations, the better, the more effective your affirmations are going to be for your life. Well, that's just about all the time that I have. There's your crash course on affirmations. And hey, I look forward to seeing you in person one day real soon, and we can talk some more about affirmations then. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your service and be wonderfully well. Peace and blessings.
You see Jack trying to drop all sorts of hints, like, I'm going to see y'all. Yeah, 5 minutes. Yeah, that's because Jack is like a brother to me. I call him my brother. So I call him. I say, listen, I don't want to bother you. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, well, I don't want to bother you. He goes, we're not having that conversation. You're never bothering me. Okay, Jack, whatever. 5 minutes. Well, 5. I'm like, yes. So you see, yes, 5 minutes. But his expertise comes through in that, again, this is about more than happy thoughts and pixie dust. If you want your affirmations to work, you got to check yourself. You want to get debt-free, but you have some fear of saving money or some unhealthy thought, or, I want to be beautiful. I love that, inside and out. There is work that, again, I talked about spiritual life, spiritual living last week is about some grit and grace. There is work to do. This isn't just, well, I go to Unity and I'm spiritual. No. It's the process of becoming spiritual. I don't know how you can't be spiritual being up in this place with all the hugging and the loving and the good food. But when you leave from here, right, I want you to be spiritual as well. And that is where the spiritual practices come in. So thank you, Jack. So now let's talk about the power of meditation, tuning into divine wisdom. So we are agreeing, right? We are affirming that affirmations shape the mind. Meditations connect us to the stillness of divine wisdom. And in unity, we honor the stillness. Like every Sunday here, we have that time where we step into the stillness. Knowing that silence is not empty, it is where divine guidance is heard. So the quote you heard from the reading this morning is from this man, Jeremy Taylor. Meditation is the tongue of the soul and the language of our spirit. Now, science has also confirmed that meditation is a powerful tool. You know, from some little-known schools like Harvard and UCLA, they have, like, what? Yeah, so, I mean, the big guns are bringing in this information, that meditation reduces anxiety and stress by lowering your cortisol levels. It enhances focus and emotional resilience. It increases gray matter in the brain, improving memory and cognition. And it deepens self-awareness and spiritual connection. And that's what the meditation is about. This is a tool to help you level up. You know, I'm looking at Luke. We have two Lukes today. So Luke times 2 and James. They're about the right age, and probably Mayan and Reed. You know, Kamehameha, right? Dragon Ball Z. You get that power up, right? And that's what meditation is helping us do, right? I know. Y'all didn't know I knew about that, right? Yeah. But again, that's what that is, right? They getting that Super Saiyan power. They are in alignment. They're operating in their power. Yeah, y'all didn't know I knew about that. Huh? That's why you're shocked. I had a young husband, that's why. But never mind. But again, meditation is about getting in our power. I think so many spiritual people want to be like, okay, look at Master Teacher Jesus. Look at the Buddha. Look at the Trimurti of the Hinduism. When you look at how they show Shiva or Krishna, mostly Brahma's always off meditating, but they are buff, right? They are ready to put a beat down if they need to. And then as us spiritual people, we need to get buff. We need to be strong. We need to be powerful, not trying to walk in all mealy mouth. No. Power up. And the way to do that is get connected to the eternal power source. How we do that is through our time in meditation. So yes, science, thank you scientists for proving what folks have known forever. We come to Deepak Chopra. Meditation is not about forcing your mind to be quiet. It's about finding the silence that's already there. Many people will tell me, oh, I don't know how to be quiet. Sure you do. You sit in a movie and you're quiet for 2 hours. Say, well, that's different, is it? Right? You say, well, my mind keeps chattering. That's good. That means that you're alive. If your mind is not chattering, you may be. If I was in LA, I'd say you might be at Forest Lawn, which is a huge, huge cemetery, right? Stop trying to make it about the stuff and just step into the presence. Just go into that spot. Michael Bernard Beckwith reminds us, when you are in deep meditation, you become receptive to the divine ideas that are always seeking to express through you. How do I live more abundant? How am I more loving? How can I be more gracious? How can I be more kind? How can I pour myself out as an offering of love and light, of power? Well, let yourself tell you, your God self. But you got to spend some time. How many people, so Gail was a traveling nurse for 9 months. And then I said to her when she now we had FaceTime and we could talk. I said, now I understand why in the old Hollywood days they were all getting divorces, because they were like away. They didn't have a way to talk to each other and stuff. We need, you can't be in a good marriage if you're not talking to each other. Why are you not talking to yourself? You affirmed, you talk to yourself, now get quiet and listen to yourself. Meditation is not an escape. It is a return to our truest self. It is the practice of becoming still enough to receive divine insight and align with spiritual wisdom. All right, so let's talk about the implementation of this. So this month we're working on the game plan for spiritual living. Game is gratitude, affirmation, meditation, and exercise. So we've talked about them as spiritual concepts, affirmation and meditation, but they are also a part of spiritual power and action. When we consistently affirm truth and quiet the mind, we are strengthening our connection to divine mind, increasing our ability to navigate life with clarity and peace. And I always say with some verve and swerve. We develop the discipline to transform challenges into opportunities. There's not a person in this room. I already know. You don't have to tell me anything about yourself. But I know by seeing you, you've had some challenges in your life and you overcame them. You have that skill. It's a skill that can be refined, and you can be empowered. Because you know people that have had challenges, but they're always drained and moaning and groaning because they don't have a source to fill themselves up. That's what our affirmations and meditations help us to do. If we are to be, I'm going to say to be spiritually awake and powerful, we must not simply believe these practices, and I hope your journals have helped you and you got them till the end of the month. We must live them. So here's our call to action for this week. Our affirmation, which we'll see later, is to affirm, I declare my thoughts, I align my thoughts with truth, and I am one with divine wisdom. Then I want to invite you to spend 5 minutes in stillness each day to quiet your mind and listen for divine guidance. You're like, I cannot do that. I cannot do that. Okay, fine. Meditation doesn't have to be silent, right? You can listen to some music. So this is a beautiful couple, Deva Pramal and Mitten. They are on Spotify. They are on Apple Music. They are on YouTube. Deva Pramal has this gorgeous alto voice, and they sing the devotional hymns of Hinduism. And so this is music that can get you in that space, in that meditative space. Ricky Byers also has that type of music. But Deva Pramal and Mitten. So you can also do a guided meditation. You say, listen, I want someone to just help me get in that zone. That's fine. So I have used channeled meditations by Oren and DeBen, and they're orenanddeben.com. You can Google guided meditations, right? I mean, for people in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and 80s, and 90s, before the internet was available, yeah, it was a little bit harder. To get Hay House books, I had to drive all the way down to downtown LA and go to the Bodhi Tree bookstore, right? You could only find them there. But nowadays, the resources are there. Look for them. Use them. You can use a guided meditation. These are channeled, but you can use other things. And then for our younger generation, there's an app for meditation. And so I use this app called Beatfulness. Now, I don't know if it's on Samsung. I have an Apple. But I'm sure that I'd be shocked if there's not something like this. So this uses binaural beats to help you. But so there are a lot of tools. So you can't meditate in the quiet, that's fine. You don't like meditating by music, that's fine. Here, you got a guided meditation. I don't want someone talking to me during the meditation. Okay, here's Beatfulness. That the excuses for not moving forward, for not evolving, for not growing, they're just that. There are too many tools, too much available nowadays. And the world needs us powered up. Let me say that again. The world needs us powered up. And we have the tools to do that. We are powerful co-creators with the divine. What we speak, we call forth. Hello, didn't y'all ask for a minister who had a certain skill set? Yeah, y'all just pulled me straight out of Memphis. You are that powerful. Use it in your house. Use it at your job. Use it in meetings. Use it as you're looking at TikTok or you're watching the news and you're thinking, what in the heck? Speak. I know that this is working for this country's greater good. I speak love to this situation. I speak wisdom to this situation. I know divine mind is going to empower in this situation. Instead of being like, oh my God, if he does one more executive order, I'm going to speak what you want. I want peace in this country. I want cohesion in this country. I want racial healing in this country. I want women to be able to do whatever they want with their bodies in this country. Speak it. Believe it. Write it to somebody. Meditate. Get in the zone and make it happen. We have that power. Talk about it. That's right. Kamehameha. Right? We are powerful creators. It's time to stop whining about things and get in your power. Say, well, now you're talking like a black woman. Well, that is what I am. But I'm saying, everyone, whatever your nationality, whatever your gender, you have the power. We have the power. Let's do it. Let's be it. Let's live it. Let's create it. Let's transform this world. We can speak it. We can connect with it. Here is our congregational affirmation. I'll take the slide now. Let us say together, I align my thoughts with truth. I am one with divine wisdom. And so it is. Thank you so much.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
So today, as we go into our meditation, I want us to meditate for a little bit longer. I'm looking at the clock, so y'all forgive me. Just say, it's Black History Month, got to do everything like she's black, and we're going over time. Okay, so we'll just put it there, right? Blame it on that. Blame it on all that goodness. But I want us to really step in. And so I bought my Tibetan bowl and my crystal bowl, which I think is really Lily's crystal bowl. But let's take some time to really turn within. There is such love in this room, such light, such power, such healing. Let us step into that energy. Invite it to stay with you so that when you're at home, you can bring that same energy, that same space. So I'm going to invite us, we're going to take 3 deep breaths in, and I want you to do a yogic breath. So not breathing from here to your lungs, which is, I want you to do, I know hopefully you're not wearing Spanx or something for the ladies, but you're going to have to breathe in your stomach, and you're going to breathe in, fill in here at your diaphragm. Breathe in, and then we're going to exhale with the, because we're going to reset our vagus nerve. We're going to let our throat chakra have a healing. All right, so let's do our first breath. Let's breathe in and out. Our second breath, breathe in and out. And then in our third breath. Let's breathe in and out. I invite you in this space to really become embodied. Call your energy back to your body. Feel your behind sitting in your chair, your feet on the floor, your back against the chair. And at home, if you're sitting or laying down or watching later, let's come back to this place. Be embodied. Let this meditation be body, mind, and spirit. Bring your attention to your toes, your feet, your ankles, your lower leg, your knees, your thighs, your butt, the core of your body, and all those organs inside. Think about your bones, your tailbone, your pelvis, lungs, spine, shoulders. Bring your attention. Be present. Be present. Let's take a breath in and out. Bring your attention to your fingers, your hand, your lower arm and your elbow, your upper arm and your shoulders, your throat, and the back of your neck. Bring your attention to your head, your chin. If you're holding any stress there, let's just unhinge that jaw for a minute, release any stress you might have there. Let's go back to our shoulders and just bring them up and drop them down. Release any stress there. Back to your mouth, your cheeks, your nose, your eyes, your forehead, the top of your head. And be present to the gorgeous body, the gorgeous human that you are. Become present to the energetic being that you are. That is your earth star chakra at your feet, root chakra at your tailbone, sacral chakra beneath your belly button, solar plexus chakra at your belly button, heart chakra in the middle of your chest, throat chakra, third eye chakra at your eyebrows, crown chakra at the top of your head, and then your soul star chakra that connects you to your higher self. Be present energetically, physically, and in this space, take time to connect. I invite you to take a breath in and out, bringing yourself back to this sacred space. Let's breathe in and out. Let's breathe in and out. Think of all the power that was in this room as we all stepped into our sacred space. And so it is.
Deep peace to you. Deep peace to you. Deep peace to you.
For today's Black History moment, Minnassa asked me if I could speak today, and she said, "Oh no, that's the Super Bowl." I said, "I'll be there." So with that opportunity, I'd like to talk about the rise of the black quarterback in the NFL. As we get ready for today's Super Bowl, I think a lot of America is a little bit not too excited for the Super Bowl because of the teams that are playing. Seb, can you pull up the slide? Says, who's America rooting for in the Super Bowl? And you can see there's a small pocket there in Kansas City, a small pocket there in Philadelphia, and the rest of America rooting for a meteor strike. So that's because the Chiefs just keep winning, and the Eagles have a horrible fan base. That's kind of the gist of where America is with this right now. But it is a historic Super Bowl. If you go to the next slide, Seb. Between two black quarterbacks. This is history in the making. These two is a Super Bowl rematch where they became the first two black quarterbacks to compete for the Super Bowl in the NFL just 2 years ago in 2023. It's a Super Bowl rematch. So that was, history was made that day, and just I wanted to go over how far we've come to get to this point. So back in 1930, Willie Thrower was born in New Kensington, Pennsylvania. Probably never heard of him. He was not in the history books, but in October 18th, in 1953, he became the first black quarterback to appear in an NFL game. He was recruited into college. He set all kinds of records in Pennsylvania, and he was recruited by all kinds of schools in the South, in the Jim Crow South, Georgia. Big SEC teams saw the numbers that he put up and were very excited to bring him on. But once they saw that he was black, they pulled their scholarship offers for him. He ended up going to Michigan State in 1952 and winning a national championship with the team. And he was then undrafted by the Chicago Bears, my Chicago Bears, back in 1953. And Hall of Fame quarterback George Blanda was the quarterback at the time, and he was the starter. And he once told Willie, he said, "You know what, Will? If I could throw football like you, I'd be in football for the next 20 to 25 years." Well, one day in October, Blanda was struggling, and they pulled in Willie Thrower off the bench. He led the team down the field and threw 8 passes, and drove the team down the field, only to be pulled off the field so Blanda could score the go-ahead touchdown. Then in 1968, next slide, Seb, Marlon Briscoe became the first starting quarterback in the National Football League. So where Willie Thrower appeared in as relief, Marlon Briscoe got a chance to be a starter. He was drafted in the 14th round to Denver. The Broncos wanted to convert him to a cornerback, but he negotiated to be able to compete for a quarterback position. On September 29th, he stepped in for an injured starter and led an 80-yard touchdown drive, carrying himself for the last 12 yards in the score. He started 5 games that year and threw for 14 touchdown passes, including 4 against Buffalo, which is still a rookie record for the Broncos. And he threw for 335 yards in that game, which stood as the record until John Elway broke it. In 1969, it became clear to Willie that he wasn't going to be able to compete, for Marlon, he was not going to be able to compete for a starting role at quarterback, so he asked for his release. He went on to Buffalo, who had already had a superstar quarterback, and he converted to wide receiver, where he then led the team as a top touchdown scorer all 3 years, became an All-Pro, and eventually moved on to Miami to win 2 Super Bowls, including with the 1972 undefeated team. And then Doug Williams. I wish Bob Audley was here. He's our Washington fan. Doug Williams was drafted in 1978 by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 17th overall and became the first black quarterback drafted in the first round in NFL history. He was the only black starting quarterback at the time, and he made history again in 1979 against my Bears, where two starting quarterbacks went up against each other in an NFL game for the first time. With Chicago's Vince Evans. He went to the USFL for a couple of years before reuniting with Joe Gibbs, who believed in him and drafted him in the first round with Tampa. And the day before, this is just an interesting anecdote I found while looking up Doug Williams, is the day before Super Bowl 22, he had a 6-hour root canal and then went on to play in the Super Bowl and score 4 touchdown passes in the second quarter, which it was the record for most touchdown passes thrown in a half, let alone a quarter. He engineered a 42-10 rout of Denver and John Elway's first Super Bowl appearance, and became the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl and become Super Bowl MVP. One other guy I wanted to mention was Warren Moon. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2006, and he was forced to go to the Canadian Football League before he had a chance in the NFL. He wasn't going to get a chance to play quarterback in the NFL. So what did he do? He went to the Canadian League and won 5 Grey Cups before getting signed with the Houston Oilers. In the Canadian Football League, he threw 144 touchdowns and for over 21,000 yards. In the NFL, he threw for 291 touchdowns and almost 50,000 yards, and became the first black quarterback elected into the Hall of Fame in 2006. So, all that to say, it's been a long and difficult path for the black men playing the quarterback position in the NFL. There's long been a stigma that the black men couldn't lead a team, or they didn't have the mental capacity to go out there on the field and be leaders like that. So these men paved the way for what we're seeing in the NFL today. And we have another slide here. At the start of this season, we had 15 black quarterbacks to start the year in the NFL, which is an NFL record. So that's it. And if we go to the next slide, for the Super Bowl today, they're taking off end racism. So we did it, guys. So we ended racism. It's over. The NFL did it single-handedly. They started in 2020 after George Floyd and the outrage in that. They put end racism on the end of the field in 2020, and by 2025, here we are. We've ended it, apparently. No, Colin Kaepernick was another black quarterback, appeared in the Super Bowl of 2013, and was blackballed by the league when he took a knee in 2016 for racial injustice. He was out of the league by the start of the 2017 season and never got another chance. So, next slide, Seb. As we're watching the Super Bowl today, just know that this is a historic time, and we are making strides in the right direction. I love both of these quarterbacks. I'm not sure who I want to win, but both these guys are on my fantasy team, so I can't really have too many favorites. But just phenomenal talent. Patrick Mahomes is going for a three-peat, win 3 Super Bowls in a row. He's doing everything he can to help our Indianapolis Colts fans here and erasing Tom Brady from the history books. And so it's a historic moment, and Jalen Hurts is just a dog. Him and Saquon Barkley and the guys in Philly are all just amazing players. So should be a great game. Thank you all.
All right. So we are preparing for the offering. This is a time to show our gratitude to this community and all that we receive every day that we come back to this space. Checks and cash are always welcome. We are becoming more technologically adept. There's a PayPal option. There is a text to give phone number. And as the offering bags are passed, you may want to put your hand over the bag to give a blessing. Please fill out the blue visitor form in the back pocket of the chair in front of you. If this is your first time, this is a good way to request a name tag. Prayer request forms are also available in the pocket. Both of these may be dropped into the offering bag as it comes around. So I invite the congregation to share in the abundance affirmation. I am an abundant being in an abundant universe. I am not dependent on people or situations for my good. God within is the source of my supply. I always have something to give, and I consistently give it. I expect the best, I give my best, and I now attract the best in every experience.
I am one with the universal mind that created me. I know it grows in me day by day. I am one with the universal mind that created me. One with the mind of God. I am one with the one source of love. It's a part of me, deep in the heart of me. I am love. I am one with the one source of love. It's a part of me. I am one with love. I am one with the everlasting light that illumines me. I know it shines in me hour by hour. I am one with the everlasting light that illumines me. One with the one true power. One with the one true power.
All right. I invite the congregation to join me in speaking our offering blessing. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am grateful.
All right, we got a lot of announcements and we are way over time, so we were gonna have an announcement by the pyramids. I'm gonna push you guys to next week. Jonna, very quick, come and say something about spiritual economics, please.
Good morning. So we are going to continue spiritual practices in the month of March, and we're going to focus as a community on prosperity, and that is all forms of prosperity, health, wellness, and of course, financial. And we'd like to gather together to do a book study group. There will be a class every one of the 5 Sundays in March. The prosperity group will make room for A Course in Miracles on the 16th. Of course, but the other days we will meet for 90 minutes each day as a group. So please get your book, please sign up. We would love to get together and raise our consciousness about prosperity.
Thank you, ma'am. And just a reminder that next Sunday is A Course in Miracles. Let's go to, I want to talk about our Black History Month celebration, that we're going to have the Nick Gomez Quartet here that Sunday. They will begin early, so come He's going to start playing. We're going to honor the one and only, the amazing Duke Ellington. They will begin with the music of Duke Ellington, so starting at 10:25, so come on out. We're going to have our very own Ginger Curry and Dan also leading some of the music. And so this is a time to come out and celebrate. That is also our annual meeting. Big day. It's a big day, and we're going to feed you. All right, come on, Mayan, so we can do the prayer for protection.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All right.
You can open the door and let the kids
Yeah, we know what to do.
Let's go in front.